magician was getting things ready.
What I want is for every creature to have a feature only they can show. To have quite so many quirks. Sound crazy, but it works. Just so.
The eldest magician urged the animals to go forth to fields and forests, to oceans, lakes, and brooks, to go forth in search of character, didn't tell where to look. Some may prefer desert regions, others may take the sky. Every last place on earth is worth a try.
Who can say what's to choose between the flipper, the claw, and the hook? If it gets you from A to B, then I need more flipper proof. Likewise, the fin, paw, or trouter, all are just the sound. Just pick your favorite and move around.
The animals were all the same, though. Their first day of existence was a flaw. If they were to show changes, what will they know? They reach the moment when they can stop.
Perhaps you might consider skin could be smooth or warty, coarse or covered with tufts of hair. Fur is a further option. Maybe feathers could have an air. Scales are worth weighing up. Shells have a rigid frame. Who knows the others I could name?
We'll have a go, become it just so, and begin to grow.
Before the high and far off times, oh my best beloved, long before the rhino had baggy skin, or the leopard had spots, or the kangaroo had bounce, or the elephant had a trunk, was the time of the very beginning. And that was in the days when the eldest magician was getting things ready. First he got the earth ready, and then he got the sea ready. And then he told all the animals that they could come out and play. Choice to you, feet, claws, or paws, or trotters, all fours or up on two. This shade of brown I find there's nothing duller. Every color should be worth a try. A theme needs variation. Let your imagination fly. Just so you all know who's who. Just so you have a different job to do. Just so you can diversify, filling up land and sea and sky, making you easy to identify.
Just so we know where you're meant to be. Just so until you from me.
If there's a niche that you can fill, in a fantastic way you will, till at last you know you've done all of your growing head to toe, becoming just so. Becoming just so.
As birds and beasts and fishes, this comes as quite a show. Unless we find an image, we'll be the laughing stock. This situation is too much to stand. If choice is limited to just one brand, a theme needs variation and some imagination.
in a fantastic way you will, until at last we know
We've done all of our
done all of your growing head to toe. We've done all of your growing head to toe. Becoming just so. Just so.
Now hear attention and listen, for this is what happened to so became and was. Bit by bit the animals went away to fill the world. Bit by bit they began to change, and bit by bit they became bothered by the one creatures who had not been engaged with the ocean life.
Instead, Hawama, the crab, played with the sea.
She grew so huge that no magic could control her. One side of her shell touched the beach of Sarawak, and the other touched the beach of Pahe. She was as tall as smoke at 3 volcanoes.
Once a day and once a night, she would go out in search of food, flooding the land and making it most troublesome for all the animals to live. So everybody became, well, crabby.
Even the noble elephants, who in those days best beloved, had only a blackish bulgy nose about as big as a boot. Even the noble elephants were not spared the indignity of a flooded homestead.
Another tempest, the water rises. Our skills at swimming would not win prizes. Our homes are flooded, the land's a mire. So we aspire to move to higher ground. Hawama, she rules the ocean floor and has us all firmly underneath her claw.
The crab has become a menace to all life. Every day she grows bigger and stronger. Every day more of our land becomes threatened.
Every day we're forced to continue this infernal migration.
But how is we to do anything? She lives many fathoms down at the heart of the sea.
The butterfly stomped his foot, but did nothing to change the ways of the crowd. The camel humped, but did nothing to change the ways of the crab.
Even the elephant queens did nothing to change the ways of the crab, though they did promise, most solemnly, that they would never forget.
And so said all the animals, except for one elephant, a new elephant, an elephant's child, who was full of insatiable curiosity, which meant she asked ever so many questions.
When a chameleon's off color, tell me, how do you decide? And has each black widow spider ever really been a bride? Tell me, Mother Jumbo, I have a question here for you. If there's a Mississippi River, is there a Mississippi too? There's no harm in asking why everything should be just so. There's no harm in dreaming that someday I'll know all there is to know. I just want to know, perhaps it's true that some surprises are much better left untold. But there's no harm in hoping that one day that secret unfolds. Why does the ostrich have feathers that grow in a plume? And why does the hippo have tiny red eyes when there's so much room for eyes to bloom? Why do camels get the hump? Why does the cat play with the sea? Why does nobody seem to be bothered by questions but me? every question and puzzle I've posed. Though I've asked all of my cousins, aunts and uncles in their dozens, the only thing I've learned is no one knows. Oh, no one There's no harm in asking why everything should be just so.
I like your young, inquiring
There's no harm in
mind.
dreaming that someday I'll know all there is to know. I just want to know. Perhaps it's true that some surprises are much better left untold. But there's no harm in hoping that one day their secrets.
One day their secrets unfold.
There's no harm in asking
No harm in asking.
why everything should be.
Just so.
Silly questions. What are we supposed to say raising such a brat? It's little wonder elephants are gray. Check your thesaurus. What if she's been there before us? Everything she garbles indicates the girl has lost her marbles. Put her in her place, the child's a curse.
That crab's worse. Why don't you challenge the crab? Then we won't have to go. She'll keep on wreaking havoc until someone brings her line. Someone must try. Why shouldn't I? She may be fierce and big, but if a blowfly can bother a buffalo, and a tick can tickle a tiger, I can calm a crab. I shall find her.
And what will you say to her when you do?
I will ask her, most politely, to stop playing with the sea.
And do you know where to find her?
Most certainly, I do not.
Here, we sit in a branchy row.
Thinking of all the beautiful things we know.
Dreaming of deeds that we mean to do.
All complete in a minute or two.
Something noble and grand and good.
Won by merely wishing we could.
But I do wish I could.
Well, a wish is the first part of the magic.
A magic?
Now, you'll need something to take with you.
A map.
Not exactly.
What's that?
It's not a what, it's a who. In fact, it's a me.
Who are you?
A colo bird.
The Cola bird, the recently roosting Cola bird. In fact, if you knew how long it took me to get up that tree, you may not have been quite so previous in knocking me off my perch.
Why didn't you fly down?
Because I don't.
Don't you mean because I didn't?
No, I mean I don't. I don't fly.
What good is a bird who doesn't know how to fly?
About as much good as an elephant's child who doesn't know how to find the crab.
Well, that's where you come in. Tell her what you know.
It's just hearsay. You know how people talk. Crab, blah, 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 floods, blah, 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 Limpopo River, blah,
Wait a
blah.
minute. What's the Limpopo River?
Well, once a day and once a night, Pow Mama comes out of her home at the heart of the sea and goes in search of food. Her favorite feeding ground is at the mouth of the Limpopo River, which, if you look on your map, you'll find in the darkest Africa. So, if you plot a course west and sail for as many days as it takes you, plus 2 extras for emergencies, you should get there in, let's say half past never.
Perfect, I'll take her. She has an answer for everything.
And you, my little pachyderm, have a question for everything, which is why I think you make the perfect team.
Well, I'm ready. We should be off.
Wait a minute. What's all this we I'm hearing? I've told you where to go. Now my place is in the middle of wait a bit Thornbush. Thank you, but some of us have nests to feather.
But I need you.
You need me?
She needs you. You must go to the banks of the great gray green, to the banks of the green and greasy Limpopo River, set about with fever trees all a quiver. So you go to the banks of the Limpopo River. On the banks of the river, your search will end. There where the Limpopo water meets the might of the ocean, dangers lurk. Beware your foolhardy notion. Journeys that end never tend to bring much mixed emotion.
It's great,
As the river Nile,
it's great,
but a certain style.
it's green,
Wanna stay a while?
It's greasy. It sounds rather vile, but if that's where I must go, then plans should be made. Maybe I can bring an end to the crowd's tirade. I'm not afraid.
So you must go to the banks of the Limpopo River, set about with fever dreams. So you must go to the banks of the Limpopo River. Now you must begin the quest. Put your courage to the test.
Hey, I said I'm not going. I can't fly.
We're going by sea.
Well, I don't sail either.
So you must go to the banks of the great, great green. To the banks of the green and misty Limpopo River. Set out your fever dreams. So you must go to the banks of the great, banks of the great, great green sea And so it was. Their journey began from Mangalore. The winds were fair, progress prompt, the slow unswollen, until Paloma once again rose from the heart of the sea. The little raft was blown way off course, eventually washing up on an altogether uninhabited island.
Now this uninhabited island is off Cape Before Fui, and on it lives a Parsi man called Keston Jombanji. He lives there on his lonesome with nothing very much, except his hat, his knife, and a cooking stove of the kind you must never touch.
Look out there! There's someone waving in the wind.
He's losing it.
Floating with the flotsam.
Going,
Jetting through the jetsam.
going.
It's an elephant.
Gone. Ahoy there, Mr. Parsi Man. Permission to dock?
No! Go away! I'm a hermit. You've got no permit.
But we've been blown off course. I'm on my way to defeat the crab.
Defeat the crab? You? Impossible. You haven't even got your first test.
Excuse me, but I wondered if it would be troublesome for us to stay here a while.
No, I was altogether uninhabited.
But, look, are you by chance the famous Parsi, Pestonji Bamanji, known both here and yonder as the baker's superior comestibles?
What?
Cakes. He bakes cakes.
Right person. Wrong tense. I don't bake. I bake. There's someone coming.
Perhaps it's the crab.
For an altogether uninhabited island, isn't it getting a touch overcrowded?
It's the
At that self-same precise moment, a rhinoceros emerged from the altogether uninhabited interior. In the day, his skin fit him quite tight. He had a big pointy horn and precious few manners.
Can anybody think of something nice that they can say about a ride? A ride. There's no redeeming feature that will do this creature, not that I know. And I know I've got no manners, I've got no sense of decency. I'm erect without refinement, without much sense. What is the use of what's that? I got the dizzy from you let it go. I'm glad I've got thick skin. Can anybody think of something nice that they can say about a ride? A ride. Great that doesn't cause ya to have bouts of chronic nausea. In a ride, a ride. Magnetic personality can't be found, no matter how I try. So I resign myself to the fact all I attract is the flight. Stinglers, and you may notice the bouquet of halitosis. The record books I'll never make, 'cause it's the only thing I crave. Of etiquette, breaks and shows, one of feeling my head. If gluttony is a deadly sin, I am a terminal king. Depressive, enigmatic, I'm a four-legged Titanic. I'm glad I've got a fair old lot of carbon Tasmanian heart.
Oh, I told you. This island is uninhabited.
It's a pity. Your party cake would have made a wonderful gift for Palama.
A gift for the crab?
Well, it's impolite to visit without a present.
But there are no ingredients.
And that is our trouble. And we must break these troubles on account of that trouble. For it is a troublesome trouble. Unintended trouble. And it's not troublesome. I suppose we could dip in the emergency rations. Zip! Emergency rations! Afford! Emergencies! Only.
Well, isn't this an emergency?
I don't know. I've never had one.
You know, if you help the elephant's child, she might be able to defeat the crab.
Her? She's big enough to change anything.
This kind of person who talks to his other?
Oh.
Well, she was big enough to have the idea.
How exactly do you make a cake?
How do I make one? Cookie, the mixing bowl. When it's an easy thing to learn, you take the butter from the spoon and mix the butter with the sugar from the cake. And then you make a better pattern. You can help us in this matter with an egg or two before you grind the grain.
The wind of now has been drowned, the after third, I thought I ran without a cookies.
cake, walk, walk, about to walk in the plastic cake away. Straight side and that's just the baking tray. The plastic cake, walk step by step, the plastic cake is. So stick with them and keep the rhythm of the plastic cake mix. Do, 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 do.
Not do any of
And little dad, a little zest, I think that citrus sweet go best, although it's sad we had a noble plus. Something to say, I mean, that's why you can find it would be nice to make your go more open up like a nuts.
Don't forget your nuts.
Don't forget your nuts.
Nuts.
Do the plastic cake, walk, walk, but walk in the plastic way. Straight side and that's just the baking tray. Do the plastic cake, walk step by step, the plastic cake, step kicks. Just stick with them and keep the rhythm of the plastic cake mix.
What's going on here? Sounds like a riot.
Woo!
I smell there's a big melody. Good job that I've not started my diet. I hope they will find if I should stay.
Just follow me. Won't you follow me into the plastic cake, walk, walk, walk in the plastic way. Straight side and one step, that's just the baking tray. The plastic cake, walk step by step, the plastic cake, just stick with them and keep the rhythm, keep the rhythm, keep the rhythm, keep the rhythm, keep the rhythm of the plastic cake. That's the plastic cake mix. I think the rhino blew it, though I don't suppose he knew it wasn't really his to chew was getting daft. The parsley took a beating and his stove is overheating. Maybe we should be retreating to the raft. Living on this island, nous bien séparés. We may be purists, but since we've had glories in the sea, not one vessel, no charge, nothing more than a worthy trip. Since that rhino came to see, and was you regret it, that he ate it. His mess is match, a cake parsley, a cake parsley.
the great gray green. On her way to the green and greasy Limpopo River, set about with fever trees all a-quiver. You must be sad living all your lonesome with just a cooking stove for company. Maybe if the parson was more hospitable and the rhino was more polite, they could become friends.
Oh, please, if the motion of the sea doesn't make me sick, this moralizing certainly will.
Well, what about you? You live all in the lonesome. Don't you think it would be a good idea if...
Don't get me started on that. My idea of a good idea is being asleep in a nest in a bush. My idea of a bad idea is being stuck on the open sea with an elephant who doesn't have a clue and a magician who doesn't have a wand? Next question.
Why don't you have a wand? Why don't you make magic to control the crowd?
So many silly questions.
You know, that one wasn't so silly. Why don't you do something to stop the crowd?
Not everything can be solved by big medicine and strong magic. I can't make Paloma play the play because,
Because she escaped to protect the gift.
yes, now nothing can penetrate her rosy reddish shell.
Hey, no magic. Does this thing go any faster?
The little rat sailed on the lippity-lappity waves until it reached the coast of Africa. So you see, best beloved, it's all right. Now, when everybody started fair, the giraffe
Huey!
and the zebra
Kaya.
lived together with a group of rather less than interesting wildebeest.
All right.
In a place called the High Veld.
Remember, it wasn't the low belt.
Or the moose belt. Or the sour belt.
Exclusively the hot, shiny belt.
Where there's sand and sandy colored rocks.
Yeah, or tufts of sandy yellowish grass.
Oh, you rather.
But it wasn't actually good for them there because the jaguar
With his teeth and claws.
and the leopard
Scarlet's whiskers.
were making advances.
About our hunting methods. Everything we try.
Why are you grinning like a Cheshire leopard? To eat is more exhausting than you think.
Some of you two act so prim and forward.
Whatever.
Normally you're first to have a laugh.
As if I'm gonna go with those two losers. A zebra has more cuts than a giraffe.
What's it about our hunting method? Everything we try is just a waste. Just let it be a hungry, skinny leopard. The meat out here is just too rare for my taste.
Maybe you just like that je ne sais quoi. After all, it's me, zebra prefers. Soon she will be eating off of my hands, and soon I will be feasting off of hers.
Oh yeah, you could pull a seat across.
Look, behind the tree.
Nobody there.
I mean, hide behind the tree.
Do you know the way?
As the group flies to the Coca-Cola bird walks.
What's the difference?
Blisters.
You told me that you knew the way to the Limpopo River.
Oh no. I said I knew the crowd went to feed there. I said I knew it was in Africa. Africa's a big place.
So now we have to find someone to ask.
Great. The belt is completely devoid of life, and you have to stop to ask someone a question. Well, you go right ahead. I'm gonna wait here a minute.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
Very funny.
Leopard, introductions.
I'm a leopard. He's a jaguar. Oh, I wonder if you could help.
I wonder if we could.
On our way to the Limpopo River. How picturesque. We're going to find Paloma and ask her most politely to stop playing with the sea. How heroic. Only we seem to be lost. How convenient.
Tell me, have you ever heard the expression, you scratch my back, I scratch yours?
Nope.
Not you. You see, we glossary too. Two things actually. A giraffe and a zebra.
A giraffe and a zebra?
Yeah, we want to the rings.
Wait a minute. What about the Limpopo River? Do you know the way or not?
Like I said, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
But that's not fair. Why is it so important that you need the giraffe and zebra anyway?
Yes. She said me. She said me.
Want to take the ladies out to dinner?
I want to take the ladies agenda of the truly tender gender. We anticipate each rendezvous with relish. Hope to find a way to their hearts. If we honored and obeyed them, they might let us marry bacon. And then we say for all that constituent parts. Help us find them otherwise after if we get cross. You will be our main course and
Maybe we should help them. It must be something urgent.
we wanna take the ladies out for slaughter. Oh, wanna take the ladies out for good. That's how they have not yet tried their meat. Ew, ow, wash from a nipple. How we prefer the ladies in our meat. There's heartstrings that have never yet been strung. They like killing and chewing, and we like killing and chewing. We want to take the ladies out. We want to take the ladies out. We want to take the ladies out to dinner.
We have to warn them.
Do you even know who we're looking for? Do you even know what a giraffe and zebra look like? How do you know they're not equally as dangerous?
Well, I don't, but
Well, then don't get involved. It's survival of the fittest out here. Your wide-eyed innocence could get us into a lot of trouble. You're too trusting. Wait, I think I hear them. They're coming back.
Look at my mane. I can't do a thing with it. You should try a little loose. I could try herd of buffalo. It wouldn't make any difference. I was running about in the heat.
excuse me.
Jeepers, where did you spring from? You know, it's not very nice going around giving us fillies the woods.
Are you giraffe? Are you zebra? Are you giraffe? Are you zebra?
Are you for real?
Afraid so.
Oh, wait. If you're one or both of each or either, then I must warn you most strenuously and urgently that there are two catty-shaped beasts in these parts who plan to eat you.
You got any more cut? This fits lost its flavor.
Sure thing.
Thanks.
Well, aren't you going to run?
That's what we do. We graze, we run. We graze, we run. Graze, run, graze, run, graze, run. As long as we keep our wits about us, we'll always stay our cats.
But that's terrible. Don't you want to change things?
You know, I haven't really thought about it. What could we change?
Well, I'm going to change the ways of the crab.
I keep hoping she'll forget about it, but then I remember she's an elephant.
I'm going to find her in the mouth of the Limpopo River and ask her, most politely, to stop playing with the sea. Only, we can't seem to find the Limpopo River.
Don't look at me, I'm just the luggage.
I can tell you where the Limpopo is, but it's a fair old gal, other side of the Zambezi. I went there once by accident. They're caught up in a wildebeest stampede. Boy, was that a mistake. I can tell you they are the dullest herbivores to go on a migration with.
Well, why don't you come along and show us the way? Maybe you'll find a safer place to live without worrying about those hunters pouncing on you.
Ooh, I don't know.
Come on, Zebe. They say change is as good as a rest. I mean, what do we have to lose?
It seems a bit rash. Reckless. Impulsive. My mother used to say, don't let fellas have their way, 'cause the lonely treat you like a piece of meat. Now let's jump away to a bird.
Hey.
With a plan that sounds absurd. Comes along and tries to whisk me off my feet.
pick up your hoops and trot, girl, off to another spot, girl, somewhere we've never been. Out where the sun will never set on us, out where the pastures green.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we could both be grazing far from the common herd?
So pick up your hooves and trot, girl, not another word.
Well, what about packing? I'll need some time to throw some things together.
Pick up your hooves and trot, girl, off to another spot, girl.
What do we have to lose? Maybe we'll find the perfect guys for us.
Maybe we'll find bad news.
Nobody came to
If there's every sugar with, there's no point in sitting here. So pick up your hooves and trot, girl. It's the best idea.
Do we really have time for a tab number here?
Trot, girl, off to another spot, girl. Just choose a path to tread. Who knows what good the change may do for us? Who knows what lies ahead? Enough of the silly banter. Time for a gentle canter. Let's make a move today. Trot, girl. Pick up your hooves and trot, girl. Somewhere far away.
It's so loud to chase it around the belt.
So long to places we once dwelt.
Goodbye to being someone's peace.
Goodbye to boring wildebeest.
So
Farewell. So long, adieu.
It's like this. The giraffe and zebra went away from the high bells.
They scuttled and scuttled for days and days. They came to a great, high, tall jungle, full of tree trunks all loosely speckled and scrawled and spotted and dotted and splashed and slashed and crosshatched. Say that quickly aloud and you'll realize how shadowy the jungle must have been.
See, look at this place. I've never seen so many trees in my life. I split a hook and laddered my leggings. This is no time to be admiring the scenery.
Oh, how much further is it to the Limpopo River?
I say we break our journey here. I'm sure Powama won't mind if you have your little meat a day later.
Well, we can't stay here. We stick out like a flamingo's bunion. I mean, hello.
yeah, the cats could have easily followed our trail. I mean, no offense, but an elephant isn't exactly the most difficult animal to track.
But if we don't rest, you guys won't have the energy to escape.
Great. I knew this was a dumb idea. At least back at the belt, we blended in with the background.
But I wish we blended in here.
Well, a wish is the first part of a magic. Wait a minute. Look, there.
Where?
See the way the slippery, slimy shadows of the
saying in the most wise tones, let us melt into the landscape, just us two by our lones.
It's rash, it's bold, it's daring. What is what we'll be wearing from this day on. Just so we all know who's who. Just so we have different jobs to do. Just so we can diversify, living the land and sea and sky, making us easy to identify. Just so we know we're meant to be. Just so I tell her from me. If there's a niche that we can fill, in a fantastic way we will, till at last we know we've done all of our growing head to toe. We've done all of our growing head to toe. Ooh, it's only just.
With a thunderous rush, the sweet water of the entries leapt, leaving nothing behind but mud, as Pauama once again rose from the heart of the sea.
Stop! You can't run away forever. I'm going to stop you from playing with the sea.
Who is it that dares to challenge the Queen of Crabs?
It is I, the elephant's child. Pauama, I wish to ask you, most politely, paying particular attention to my P's and my Q's, if it would be too much trouble for you to stop playing with the sea, please?
I do not play with the sea. Once a day, once a night, I go out to look for my food. Once a day, once a night, I return. So leave me alone.
Listen, Pauama, when you leave your home in your hard, rosy, ruddy, reddish shell, the waters of the ocean are drawn away from the beaches, leaving them bare. And then, when you return to your home at the heart of the sea, the waters rise, and half the little islands are drowned.
I did not know I was so important. Henceforth, I will go out 7 times a day, and the water shall never be still. Ha 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 ha!
What should I do?
You must go to the banks of the great gray green, to the banks of the green and greasy Limpopo River.
But you heard what she said. I just made things worse. She's gonna flood the land 7 times a day now because of me. We should have never started this trip.
Oh, come on. You can't give up now. We'll think of something. We must.
And the eldest magician knew that, despite the cowardice of many, it was now only up to the courage of the two that could stop Pauama.